We're up to Memhei, we're still in the Hakdamah. He says he brought proofs. You have to understand something. The Halevavot he's speaking about. There is a need to understand the mitzvot of the heart. What does that mean? It's not enough that you do the maaseh. It's also behind. You're not a robot. What does it mean? You're not a robot. You know, like a robot just does. There's mitzvot behind the scenes where you have to understand where in the intentions what you're doing. Like Ben Ish Hai says yesterday, he was saying even when you sleep, you should have in mind before you go to sleep, you're doing a mitzvah to have energy to serve Hashem. He says that. So why is he going? He's not speaking extra things about his halakha. The answer is because besides just doing what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to be thinking behind all of that. He says there's no sefer special for this. He says, I'm writing a sefer that with your own knowledge, I don't know if you're going to be able to pick it up. But however, if you go and you analyze through what he's about to say, you'll be able to figure out things that you never thought of in your life. Right? He says, Hashem gave me the ability to go ahead and to write a sefer about the mind, the consciousness, the subconsciousness of the mind. I have from Masoret, from Kadmonim, שהם הזדעזעו והשתדלו יותר בהבנת החובות ומטלות עליהם, מאשר לאסוף דינים חדשים ושאלות בלתי פיין, ושהשתדלות ימתה להבין את כלי הדינים. He says, they looked in not just what the halakha is, what's the depth to it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, fine, you're not allowed to do this, but what's the in-depth to all of that? To clarify the isur and the heted. ואחר כך היו עוסקים ומשתדלים לזכך את מעשיהם ואת חובות לבבם מכל הטבות שפניות, וכשהייתה באה לידם שאלה בלתי מצויה מהדינים החדשים, היו מעיינים בה אז לפי הסברה ופוסקים את דינה לפי עיקרי הדין, ולא היו מטריחים את הדם אליה קודם לכן, מפני שלא היה ערך לסלם לכבוד מדומה שכתבים לו אלא המראים את חלופתם וקודם בבירור השאלות בלתי מצויות. וכשהיו צריכים לפסוק דין בשאלה בלתי מצויה, אם הדין היה ברור להם מהיסודות שקיבלו בשם הנביאים, היו פוסקים את הדין על פי היסוד אלו. ואם השאלה הייתה מהדינים החדשים שלומדים את דינם מיסוד ההם, היו מעיינים בא לפי סברתם. אם היו כולם בדעה אחת, היו פוסקים לפי דעת כולם. ואם היו מחלקים בדין, היו פוסקים כדעת הרוב. Saying, how did Shulchan Aruch come about? How did all these different sefarim, halakha sefarim, he's just talking, how did the sefarim come about? He says, I'll tell you, Shulchan Aruch, right? You had three Rishonim, you had the Rosh, Rif, and the Ran. Rosh, Rif, and Rambam. So he says, well, a guy would, let's say for example, you go around, you see the poskim, you say majority rules, which is true. Majority rules. You saw three. I'm not talking about nowadays. Nowadays already we have the psak from Shulchan Aruch. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to go against that. Back in the day where Shulchan Aruch wasn't even available to the people, so how would you know what the halakha is? So we would go through the poskim. You would see most of them say mutar, and that's how you would paskin. Until Shulchan Aruch came along, Shulchan Aruch did it for you. You don't have to do it again. Shulchan Aruch did it for you. You're not going to go look at that. You're going to look at Rambam, Rosh, and Rif, and then paskin. You're not going to do that. So Hashem sent the Shulchan Aruch in advance, so you could come in 2024 and understand what's going on over here, and you'll be able to pass in the right way. Right? If they accepted the din from before, we what's the rule? What's the rule? Yahid barabim, halakha is what? Kerabim, right? Majority rules. Now I want to tell you something. There's sometimes the halakha in the Shulchan Aruch himself that he'll paskin like the Rambam himself. Right? Even though two against him, he'll still say the Rambam. Sometimes, once in a while, he'll do it. Why? He felt that this is the right psak. I guess he saw other poskim as well, but as well, that's what he would do. He says, you see the Talmud, you see a lot of times the Gemara itself, you could see the depth that even the Ma'asim, there's a kick at ma'asehem, to purify their deeds. What do we mean by purify their deeds? I'll give you an example. You see, why did this rabbi have a long life? And you see, what does he say? The Gemara says, he was never makpid in his house once.
What does that mean?
That means when his wife is driving him crazy, you never get upset. Your kids are driving you crazy, you don't get upset. Your husband's driving the wife crazy, she never gets upset. That was how depth they were. Imagine you could say at the end of your life, after 120 years, you could say, I never got angry in my house once. And even if you do get angry, you don't. You're only getting angry to show the fear.
Angry in my
People could say that too. I never not getting. Right? Never not getting. You know. What? I never got angry. Can you say that? Who could say that? You know what I'm saying? So the Chachmei Talmud, the Chachmei Talmud, the rabbis of the Talmud, they were very, 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 very precise on every move they made. Very precise. Could you? Rosh Shlomo, I'm not comparing Rosh Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, but Rosh Shlomo Zalman Auerbach to the Tanaim. But Rosh Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, once when his wife passed away, after she passed away, he went to the Levaya and he said, "You should just know, in Levayas, what they do is they ask Mehillah from the spouse. Says I don't have to ask Mehillah. Says why? Because I know for sure I never did anything wrong to my wife."
No.
Could you say that?
No.
I know you can, but anybody else say that? It's a big thing. It's a big thing, you know what I'm saying? Why is it, the Gemara says, why is it the Rishonim, they had a nes, why nowadays we don't have the miracles that they had back then? If it's because of learning, maybe they had more learning than us. He says, look, ואילו רב יהודה כד הווה שליף כד מסנה הווה מתאים מטרה ואילו מעניין מזיל מעניין וכאן מנתי לשכחה בה עמלק המאי. So he says, if it's because of learning, we have a lot of learning, right? So it's not because of that. So what is it? עמלק המאי הוו מסרי נפשי על קדושת Hashem. He says, because the older generations would give up their lives for Kedusha Hashem. He says, how come nowadays we don't see the miracles back, like the earlier ones had crazy miracles? And if you're going to tell me because they learn more Torah, we have a lot of Torah. That's the rabbi saying. This is the Gemara is saying this. They said we also have a lot of Torah. We were able to accumulate a lot of Torah. Think about it. Later on in the generations, you have all what the rabbi said prior. Meaning the earlier rabbis, they don't have the later rabbis. We have the later rabbis and the earlier rabbis. Everything. We're learning everything. So what are you going to tell me? Because they had more Torah. We have anything. We have more Torah. We can learn more Torah. So what's going on? So he says, you know why? Because they were moser nefesh al kedusha Hashem. Now moser nefesh al kedusha Hashem doesn't mean just give your life for Hashem. It means they really gave their lives for Hashem. Like if they were tired, it didn't faze them. Oh, I'm not going to shul today. Tired, not tired. They went. You understand? They had a headache. You know, they're not going, oh, I can't come to shiur today, my head's hurting. No, it wasn't like that. Okay, you have a headache, deal with it. If a guy's in business and he has a headache, I can guarantee you he's going and he's dealing with his business. A guy has to travel to Greece or wherever he has to travel for a business trip. He knows how to just, he knows how to go ahead and the person has to have the mesirut nefesh, right? The person has to, I said Greece not because of you. Alright, but a person has mesirut nefesh. So somebody really wants and does it. So therefore, he's trying to say that the Kedushat Hashem is mesirut nefesh, where you're giving sacrifice. Not that you're actually doing it. We're doing it. They're doing it. But the way they did it was with a lot of mesirut nefesh, with a lot of how do you say dedication. I like that word, dedication. A lot of dedication. Like there could be two people learning Gemara in Kollel, or regular guys, two regular guys learning Gemara, and they're sitting right next to each other, and he's learning this and he's learning that, and the dedication that one has is much more than the other one. It's just light years away. But what do you mean? I'm learning the same hour. But how are you doing that dedication when you're learning? So he says, he gives a story how there was a lady, she was wearing something, I guess, not so seniut, and he thought that she was Jewish. He ripped it. He saw something that she wasn't wearing. He ripped it over her head. She found out that she was Goya. She wasn't Jewish. You understand? He thought that she's Jewish. You know, the Jewish lady can't wear that. You know, shh. Imagine this. Yeah, can't wear it.
So she was wearing something not good, so he ripped it off.
Yeah, she was wearing not.
That goes against logic.
No, not on her body, on her head. Something that's I guess he writes over here. What does it say? It says here, karbalata beshuka, something that you shouldn't be wearing. Not I guess, Salva de Badiseli. He thought that she was a Goya. Oh no, sorry, Jewish. Kam karemina. He came and he ripped it from him. What came out that she was what? She was not Jewish. Like, what are you doing? He's like, they evaluated it, right? They evaluated it for such a big valuation, and he paid, no problem. He took a responsibility. He could have said, listen, I didn't know, and this and that. He took responsibility. Listen, I had a case on Friday. What was the case? Came to me. A guy was in a business deal. He was in a business deal, and when I was involved, I'm hearing the two parties, and one party says that he sold these goods, but he sold it and he doesn't even own it, right? But wait, he is part of the company, right? Yes, but he's telling me, but he sold these goods, meaning he sold these goods for a crazy deal to another guy. So the buyer is saying, listen, I put a deposit on that, and I was waiting there for 2 months. I put a big deposit, a few $100,000 on that specific item. And I've been waiting for 2-3 months. I could have bought other goods in the meantime. I could have done this, but I wanted this deal. So now the guy's telling me over the phone, oh, Rabbi, but the guy who was my partner, my other guy, has no rights to, what do you mean? Okay, fine. So there's a way of dealing with, fine, you don't want to make the sale through, but compensate him for what? For the loss that he had. He could have made interest on the money. He could have did this. He could have that. Meaning interest meaning to say just put it in the bank and get 5%. You know what I'm saying? Do something. That's yashrut. Other people, oh, let's go. You want to go to bed? You want to that? Yeah. No. The rabbis in the back in the day, if they did maybe a small mistake, they were moseh nefesh. They were dedicated to fix it in the highest level possible. Like you see, what the rabbi do? He didn't just let it go. Oh, well, what should I do? Okay, I thought you were a Jew. Sorry. No, you're right. I made a mistake. I'm going to pay you top dollar for that. He took a responsibility. The rabbis teach us, Amar Huna, Kol Ha'osek b'Torah bilvad, Domeh k'mi she'en lo elokah. Why? Shneimar, v'yamim rabim le'yisrael lo elokeh emet, ela b'Torah u'min lo hazadim. He says, you can't just learn. You have to learn, but at the same time, you have to do hesed. That's what he says. You hear that one? Mm-hmm. You hear that one? You're right, you're learning. You should learn all that. That's the biggest hesed that you can do. However, at the same time, what? You should also know, you should get involved with hesed. Again, the ikar is the limud Torah. That's the ikar. The ikar is the limud Torah. But don't just say, okay, I'm not doing any hesed. It's like a guy. He's having a meal, right? So the ikar of the meal, the main part of the meal is the bread, is the carbs, right? It's the main part. But you also need some vegetables. You know what I'm saying? You do hesed, is that. You understand? The ikar tamud Torah kenei kulam. You also have to do hamasim tovim, you have to do hesed, you have to do all these things. By the way, a person helping is the shul. That's one of the biggest hasadim. One of the biggest hasadim. Right? A person helping a shul, what is it? It's not a hesed. It's a very big hesed. No, because we have one of the members here, he's helping him, right? He helps at the knees, right? So, he helps at the knees, so what, at the same time, what is it? It's a hesed that he does. Right? Even the rabbi himself helping out the shul is also big hesed, Mikey. What do you think? Right? But what is it? It's a hesed. A person's, you know what the biggest hesed? A lot of people don't realize that even in the shul, there could be so much hasadim just to be done in the shul. Everybody's part of a shul. So just in that alone, you can do so much hesed. Just in that alone. Oh, there's no coffee cups, let me get coffee cups. Oh, there's no tissues. One time we didn't have tissues all of a sudden. One guy came in, he bought like a box of tissues, he put it around. I asked, what are you doing? He said, I want to do hesed. Wow, it's very nice, interesting. I'm saying you got to just think a little bit and you'll be able to figure it out. He says, I analyzed and I saw whatever move they did it for what? For Hashem. For Hashem. Now, I don't know if he's cleaning up the shul, is he doing it for Hashem? I don't know, I don't read his mind. I don't know. But you could if a person goes and thinks what he's doing it for Hashem, he's saying that's the highest level. That's the highest level that you can do. You know? מיוסדים על טהרת הלב וזקוקו במצפון, ואם כולל לכוונה בכאן, הם מעשים מקובלים לפני השם, גם אם הם רבים ונעשים תמיד, כמו שאמרו רדף, גם כי תבלו תפילה אינני שומע, אך עשו לזיקוק, עשו רוב מעלה נגד חטאי, ונאמר, כי קרוב אליך הדבר בעוד בפיך לעשותו, ונאמר, תנה ליבך, לי ועיניך תדע חיים מצרון, ואמרו כמזל, אי אהב ליבך ועיניך, אנא יעד דילי, הפסוק, אשר תדעו מלאכם וחיים עליכם, במה קדם השם, מקו ללוקי המרום, הקדימנו בעולות, תשובת הנביא על שאלה זו הייתה, הגיד לך אדם מה טוב ומה השם דורש ממך, what does Hashem want from you? כי מעשות משפט, אהבת חסד, והצנע לכת עם השם אלוקיך. Says, what does Hashem want? Right? Hashem wants you to go in the right derech, He wants you to do good, He wants you to be tzniut. Tzniut means not only tzniut in a dress way, tzniut means even your ma'asim. You don't have to show off what you do. Oh, I'm the guy who does this. What are you doing? You have to show off. So that's tzniut, by the way. You do things, there's people that do things you don't know nothing about. Tzniut. It's a tzniut way of doing things. Nobody has to know what your kavanot are. You know, every time a guy goes up, you know, my tefillin, you know why I don't let anybody use it? I'm going to tell you, he does the whole knees. Because I never thought anything else but Hashem in my tefillin. Okay, you have to show off the whole shul has to know. What are you doing, you know? Nobody has to know every single thing that you do. You're right, you do great things, but nobody has to know everything you do. He says, what should a person be praiseworthy? What? Is what? Haskel yadaoti. Person that knows me, meaning to say, he puts his thoughts on me. Hashem says, what I want to desire, that they think of me. You can learn Halevavot, you can learn Gemara, you think of Hashem. You ever say, I'm learning Gemara, why? Because I love Hashem. You ever say that in your life? You ever say, I'm coming to shul, I love Hashem? You ever say, I'm wearing tzniut because I love you, Hashem? You ever say all these things in your mind? You have to be thinking that. Why am I doing that? Because I love Hashem. Perush, you have to have the pride of going the derech. He says also the recognition of his hasadim to you. Hashem does hesed to every single person. You have to recognize the good that He's giving to you. You have to recognize that. You have to really contemplate that. A person's healthy. A person has eyes. A person has nose. A person has ears. Don't take anything for granted. You think it's pashut? You have a nose? Everybody has a nose. It's not true. It's not true. You might see everybody has a nose. One time we went to shul. There was one guy. They were passing him the Beis Hamim. It was Saturday night, and he goes like this. Like, so what's going on? Why is he saying no? Like he doesn't want the no. He's like this. Like, what's going on? I went to me after shul. I said, what's going on? Why you don't like something? We should get you something else. Rose, what do you want? He says, no, Rabbi. He says he lost his sense of smell. Could you imagine? He has a nose. He lost his sense of smell. You know, the other day, I met a fellow, and he tells me there's certain people in the world. He told me because he deals with them. He's a clinic. He has a clinic, and he says I see patients that they don't have certain nerves. So if you touch a hot water tank, like a hot water urn, what's your first reaction? You understand? You touch a hot water. Imagine Hashem didn't let you feel that pain. And you don't have those nerve endings. So you're holding the thing, the pot like this. You're holding it and holding it and holding it. Until when do you realize? Until you smell the hands burning. And did you ever think, Hashem, that you have nerve endings? The hakarav, the hesed that He does, that He feels the pain? Did you? You ever think about it in a million years? Guy burns his tongue, right? You ever drink a hot cup of water, a tea or coffee, or like this? You're going, you should say, thank you, Hashem, that I'm able to feel the pain. If I weren't able to feel the pain, I would keep on drinking and drinking. Who knows what happened to the mouth? Before you know, you lost all the taste buds because it burnt all the taste buds. So what does Hashem do? He gives you the ability, but you ever think of the hesed of Hashem like that? You ever think in a million years this hesed of Hashem that He did, that He gave you the ability to have pain? You know, doctors, one of the criteria they ask you, if let's say your foot is broken or something like that, they touch certain parts of your foot, and you know how they know if you need certain things? They say, how bad is the pain from 1 to 10? And they have a list. Oh, what about now? What about now? What about now? What about now? What about? They could feel if you're having pain, how much pain, how serious the damage is inside without even doing an X-ray. Yeah? So pain is the biggest hesed that Hashem can do. Because now that you felt the pain, you're going to stop. Yeah? Hunger. Guy's hungry. Imagine Hashem never made this hunger pain. You ever feel hungry? You ever feel hungry? So imagine you don't have that hunger pain. Yeah. Sometimes the guy's busy, he won't eat, keep on going. I know some people love their food, but sometimes like the guy would never stop, right? Baruch Hashem, you have the hunger. You have to the next time you feel hungry, you have to thank Hashem. I feel hungry. Why? Because He gave you a automatic system where you feel hungry, that therefore gives you the appetite to eat. How awesome is that you have an appetite? Some people don't have an appetite to eat. You know, some people don't have an appetite to eat. You don't believe me. Huh? Some people don't have an appetite to eat. You try to give the kid this, that, doesn't have an appetite to eat. Over here, have an appetite to eat. Wow, you think Hashem appetite? You have a desire to eat? Ah! It's a pleasure. Yeah, that's what it says. It says, Hakara of the hesed of Hashem. He says, even people have it through the creation. He says, people analyze. They take the orange, they look at how analytic, wow, how great it is. Take the apple. So I already proved it to you that you really have to look into things. Don't take it for granted. Look into things. He says, the Nistan and the Galui, the hidden and the revelation should be the same to serve Hashem. Until the inside and the outside, what you're doing is the same. You know? That's what he writes. He says, if you have the inside and the outside the same, you're called Tamim. Tamim. It says, Tamim tiyeh Elokecha. U'bamno Tamim היה בדורותיו. ובמנו הולך תמים בפרוץ צדק ולא בדמים. ובמנו השכילה בדרך, תמים. מתי תבוא אליך תלך בתום לבבי בקרב ביתי. ואמר כתוב, עמי שלא היה תוכו כברו, ולא היה לבבו שלם עם השם, ונאמר, ויפתו בפיהם ושלום כזבו לו, ודיברנו נכון עמו, ולא בבריתו. He's saying, Pesukim in the Torah, where it says again and again and again and again and again and again, technically speaking, the highest level of doing mitzvot, the highest level is Tocho keboro. What does it mean, Tocho keboro? The inside is like your outside. People view you, they see you, you're a Sadiq, they view you. That's the inside as well should be the same. Inside as well. When you're having a mitzvah, inside and outside you should have the shlemut of serving Hashem. I'm doing it to serve Hashem. I'm doing it to serve Hashem.
Wasn't there a story in the Gemara where they didn't let people in that weren't like
Yes, there was. And that's yes, it's true. It's a story like that. At the end of we're not going to say that the mitzvah is not fun. Yeah, you did the greatest thing. You should do the mitzvah no matter what. Always do the mitzvah. But we're telling you what's the highest level. The highest level of a mitzvah is where you have Hashem in your thoughts when you're doing it. That's the highest level. You do mitzvot, everybody, and don't ever stop doing mitzvot. You'll get tremendous reward for doing every single mitzvah. But how much greater would it be if you have the complete mitzvah? The next day when you're putting on tefillin, tomorrow when you're putting on tefillin, you're saying, wow, Hashem, you put your thought to it. I have an arm, I have a mind, I have a head that I could put my tefillin on, I have another arm that I can wrap it up, and you think I'm doing it for you, Hashem, because I love you. I want to do mitzvot. I want to connect to you. This is the highest level of doing mitzvah. Understand? It's not because you're putting thought into the mitzvah. You're not a robot. Understand? You're putting thought. Again, you want to be a robot, you still get mitzvah for it. But otherwise, you want to do the highest level, you're doing the mitzvah anyway. You might as well have these awesome kavanot. You're putting tzitzit in the morning. You might as well have this kavanot. You're walking to your house. Rav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, he used to comb his beard before he would walk in. Not on Shabbat. Shabbat we don't comb the beard because we're scared the hair come out. But on a weekday, he would. So they said, Rabbi, what are you doing? He said, what do you mean?
You gotta look pretty for the wife.
I'm greeting my wife. And what? And it says that the Shekhinah, when there's Shalom in the house, the Shekhinah is there. So although I'm greeting my wife, I'm also greeting the Shekhinah. You hear the thoughts? Like when you ever go, now today you're going to go into your house, you're thinking about that? Oh, I'm greeting the Shekhinah because I have shalom. Maybe some people, they don't do it because they don't have shalom. But at the end of the day, imagine thinking about that. Imagine thinking about, you're going now, you're going back to your house. Oh, I'm going to greet my wife. Oh, now I'm thinking what? I have shalom. I have the Shekhinah with me. You ever think like that in your life? And then there's a way to think of it. That's why Chovot was bring all these pesukim. It's not just you walking into your house anymore. You're walking into your house and you're thinking all these thoughts. I have the Shekhinah with me, I have this, I have that. Now when you walk into your house, it's a whole different house. It's a whole different house. You ever walk on a Friday night back from shul to your house and you say, wow, the angels are coming in. You know Gemara says, 2 angels walk with you and they give you barakah. You ever think like that in a million years? You're putting these thoughts in your mind that the vitamins and the nutrients, that they uplift the whole mitzvah to the next level. וידוע שכל מי שדעתו השתנות מפעם לפעם והוא סותר את עצמו בדיבור או במעשה אין לבני אדם אמון ביושרו והם לא חושבים אותו לאיש אמת. He says if a person וכן אם הגלוי שלנו סותר את הנסתר שלנו וכוונת בינו סותר את בירנו ופעולות אבינו סותר את מצפוננו אין עבודתנו לאלוקינו שלמה מפני שהוא לא מקבל מאיתנו עבודה מיוזפת כמו שאמר לא אוכל להבין מהצלה. כתוב אמר עוד גרי השם העושה משפט שונא גז בעולם ונאמר וכי גירושין רע ונאמר הנה שומע מזבח טוב ומטעם זה לפעמים מצווה אחת שכולה כמצוות רבות. Wow, he's saying, you know what he says over here? Sometimes one mitzvah could be like a whole bunch of mitzvot. How? Kefi haleva hakdamah. Because it's so powerful. That one mitzvah is so powerful because you're all in that mitzvah. It's like, it could be worth hundreds of mitzvot. That's what he says. Look, page Nun Aleph. Look what it says over there. In the left tov, look what it says. Umitam zeh, I'm going to read it again. Lefamim mitzvah hat. One mitzvah, shekula ke mitzvot rabot. It can be worth many mitzvot. Why? Kefi haleva hakdamah. It's based on the thoughts that you're putting in it, because you put so much into that one mitzvah. Wow! ולפעמים עבירה אחת שכולה כעבירות רבות. אז שלום, one עבירה could be, it goes vice versa, it's only one way. one עבירה could be like עבירה, לא עבירות. לכן אפשר שהנכונות לקיים מצווה ותשוקה לעשות אותה מתוך יראת האלוקים. That's why he says you have to have יראת שמיים when you're doing מצווה. גם אם לא עלה ביד האדם לקיים אותו בפועל, שכולה כמצוות רבות שנעשו הבנים מהשבה ויראת אלוקינו, כמו שאמר דוד, יען אשר היה עם לבביך לבנות בית לשמי, את טוב אתה גם היה עם לבביך. Wow! He writes, even to think of doing mitzvah is a great thing. One time, Rav Salanta asked the guy, what are you thinking? Says, just the thoughts. Oh, if I had 100 million, you know what I would do? I would build the yeshivot, and just the thought of that. Hashem likes the thought. Wow, you're thinking you want to do great things. Wow, imagine just the thought. ואמר עוד אז דברי השם איש של רעהו ויקשב השם ישמע ויכתב ספק זרעון לפניו לעיני השם ושלומו ופרשו כעממים ז"ל מה חשבו השמו אפילו חשב לעשות מצווה even if he thought of מצווה ונאנס ולא עשה he didn't do it מה היה כתוב? כאילו עשה. He says you have to understand that Hashem is going through your thoughts as well, so even think of it doing, oh, I wish I could do that mitzvah, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that. You know, you have dreams like, oh, I want to finish the whole shas, I want to finish this, I want to make this, I want to do that. Wow. וכאשר הבנתי היטב את מצוות הלבבות שהזהירו עליו השכל, התורה שבכתב והתורה שבעל פה. Now, התחלתי להרגיל את עצמי בהן. He says, now that I have everything complete, right, והעמסתי על נפשי את מעשה ידיעתם וסיתם, וכל עניין שנגלים מהן, גילה לי את העניין הסמוך לו, סמוך לו את הסמוך לו, שכל עניין הוא היה כמו הקדמה לחברו, עד שהעניין התקרב, והיה קשה לי לזכור אותו, בלבי תמיד, ופחדתי שלא אשכח את מצוות הלבבות כשכבר נקלטו בעשותיי, ויראיתי שלא יאבדו מעלייניים עניינם שכבר נקבעו להם, וגם נוכחתי משמעתיים מהם בדורנו, שיכולים להיות לי עזר על ידי שהזכירו לי הדברים העלו להשתכח ממני. He says, לכן, he says, since I had all these thoughts to actually go ahead and write this, החלטתי לכתוב את מצוות הלבבות בספר. I decided to write a sefer of the mitzvot, of not just the actual mitzvah, of the thought process behind the mitzvah. ולחבר עליהן, and to make a book, חיבור ספר, חיבור שיכלול את כלליהן והקיף את פרטיהן. To write a sefer that tell you details, not only the general rule, but the details. והרבה מתודותיהם, כדי שאדרוש מנפשי תמיד לדעת אותן, so I can know, וחייב אותה לעשות אותן, so I can also be חייב to do it. ועל אותן מצוות הלבבות שקיים בהתאם למה שיכתוב בחוברי, ועודד לקהל, העוזר לקיים אותם. And he says, I thank Hashem for giving me the ability to write this. והמורה לי את שביליהן, and he's showing me the path. ועל אותן מצוות הלבבות שעמדו בסתירה עם מה שכתוב בחוברי, הן לא יגיעו אליו, אשים את שמי נפשי והוכיח אותה, ועבור אליה בטעמו בטענות בחומרי, עד שתיבד להמשיך העבר לשלה, והצדק והמורה בחמרי, וסייעתה מהיות שבו, קור שלה, וכל שבו, וכל זה, מעשה המשלמות שבופן. והחלטתי לקבוע את הספר לדבר קיים. He says, I decided to make it a sefer that'll be established. ולאוצר חשוב. And a true treasure, an important treasure. ולנר שהעיד לבני אדם. And a light that will lighten up the people. ויראה להם את הדרך אשר ילכובה. A light, it's like, he's saying, I'm putting like a flashlight for you guys. I went through it. So now, read my sefer, know what it's all about, because I gave you a flashlight that you could see every mitzvah in examination form. Like that, always writing. ותקוותי, my hope, שהתועלת שתהיה לאחרים מהספר, the people who should benefit from the sefer, תהיה יותר גדולה מהתועלת שתהיה ממני. Should be more than what I gained from the sefer. ושהחיבור ישלים אותם יותר ממה שישלים אני את עצמי על ידו. ואמרתי לי, I said to my mind, I said this to myself, אחבר מעשה ספר שמספר שעריו יהיה מספר השושלת חובות לבבות, מצוות פנים, ויהיה כולל את כל חיי כהן, ויבאר די צורך וכעניינים, ויראה את הדרך הטובה הישרה, ונהיג את בני האדם ומנהגה כקדומים ומסורי החסידים. He said, I'm going to bring you, when you're learning the sefer, throughout the sefer, I'm going to bring you wild, like deep concepts, important concepts. ויקיץ משנת הסיכלות, to wake up the people from this slumber of stupidity. And to analyze the depth of the wisdom. It should uplift your will to do the highest level of the mitzvah. וישאר לסדר אחרון את אלה המקדימים את מה שעליהם לאחר ומאחרים את מה שעליהם להקדים ומחזק את הנתחיל והמראה את הדרך לנבוכים. He says this is what he's doing. He's saying I'm opening up the derech to people to see the in-depth of the mitzvah. Ulam, you ready? Let's go a little bit more. Let's finish up a little bit. This is just the Hakdamah, it's
70 pages Hakdamah.
70 pages. Could you believe?
Introduction.
Imagine, it's a wild piece. אולם, כאשר ניגשתי להוציא לפועל את החלטתי, לחבר את הספר הזה. When I decided I'm going to make the sefer, נוכחתי כי אין אדם כמוני ראוי לחבר כמו זה, והערכתי את עצמי שאין בכוחי לחלט, כדי להניח חוכמת המצפון השורשים והענפים ותודיהם, בעוד שיהיה החיבור מסודר בהתאם כראוי לו. מפני שבעיניי היה הדבר כבד מדי עבורי. He says, but I was thinking, it's a big task to do. ודעתי מדי קצרה לזה, ושכלי מדי חלש להשיג את העניינים, ומפני שאיני יודע את השפה הערבית, על ברויה. Chovot Levot is saying, he's Hashem Achibati Tchiburi, מפני שהיא השפה המובנת ביותר לרוב בני אדורנו. ופחדתי פן אתרק בדבר שהוא ממעלה מכוחי, ופן אעבור בחומרי זה, ואת מידת יכולתי הנכונה, עד שחשבתי בלבי לחזור בי מהשמדי להשיח את דעתי מה שהחלטתי לעשות. He says, I was on a verge of not writing the sefer. Why? He's saying, because who's going to pick it up and understand it correctly, or because he's saying different languages.
He's also saying that
different languages.
his
Arabic.
ability to write in Arabic is not as strong as he would like it to be.
And most people know Arabic at that generation.
And he's afraid that he's not going to be able to do it.
To spread it out like that. So he's saying he's down. Well, should do that? Of course, he did it. He's just saying in his mind what's going on. Like, how the mind plays. Oh, should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I do it? Should I not do it? וכאשר חשבתי, when I thought about it, להסיר את המסע הטרחה הזו עליי, ולהודות מכבד הספר, חזרתי בי. I said, you know what, I'm doing it. וחשדתי את נפשי שהיא בוחרת בנבוכה ובעצלות. He says, maybe it's coming from what? The Yetzer Hara is playing games with my mind. Oh, you late? No, I'm going to do it. ובהשקט בביתה, וחששתי שעזיבת המחשבה הזאת נובעת מרצון התאווה. Maybe it's coming from what? From a רצון of like laziness. חס ושלום. So he says, ושרצון זה הוא שהייתה אותי אל דרך המנוחה והשלווה. והוא שנתן לי את הדחיפה, that exactly גופה was the thing that pushed me. He says, no, I'm going to do it. להחליט על עזיבת המחשבה הזאת, ולשבת במושב העצים, ויודע אני שכמה דברים שכליים שהיה בכוח האדם להשיג אותם, עבדו ממנו בגלל הפחד המונע אותו לגשת להם, פן לא להשיג אותם, ושכמה חסרונות בשלמות האדם מידותיו נגרמו על ידי פחד זה. He says, some people are scared to turn things, to do things, and they lose out in life. A lot of wealthy people, what do? A lot of wealthy people, what? They took a lot of risks. See, the guy's a risk taker. I say, well, I bought someone, what are you crazy? What are you thinking? He took the wealthiest people, the biggest risk takers. But they can lose it all, or they can gain so much more. Yeah? You hear that, Yossi? The risk takers are the guys who imagine the guy, what did he do?
No risk, no reward.
Yeah, exactly. He bought a whole warehouse in Jiddies. What are you doing? $40 million. What are you doing? Where'd you buy it? All of a sudden, 2 years later, he had a vision. Yeah, I'm thinking that he's going to go crazy. 2 years later, what happens? He developed the whole thing worth $2 billion. You believe such a story? You believe such a story? He bought it $40 million, nothing. He bought the garbage. He got developers, he got zoning, he built the whole thing from the square to bottom, the whole thing was zoned out, forget it. He took a risk, flew. He says, right? He says, sometimes don't be too nervous to try. Yeah? What does he write? Be careful not to be too careful. You hear that? Yeah, again. Be careful not to be too careful. You heard? You heard that? That's a big statement. Be careful not to be too careful. Like, who says that? Yeah, no, he's saying that because some people are so careful, they don't advance in life at all. They don't advance in life. Oh, I'm too careful, I'm scared. Wait, if I do this, wait, if I do that, wait. You should be too careful not to do Avirah. That's what you should be too careful about. But when it comes to accomplishing things in life, don't be too careful to be too careful.
Get paralyzed.
Yeah, exactly. Again, to do Avirah, you have to be very, very careful. 100 steps. Be careful, not be so careful, so careful. But to accomplish good in life, don't be too careful to be too careful. I'll read it again. Hazeirut shelo tarbel hizaher. It's an amazing thing. 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 Why? Because a lot of people don't advance in life because they're too careful about too many things. So they don't advance in life. Oh, what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? So the guy all the time he's thinking 100 things. Advance! Move back! Move! Do! No, but if I do, or I do, so then don't do it. He's too careful to be too careful. Again, when it comes to Avirot, you have to be very, 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 very careful. Yes. 10 steps. Should I go this way, not go this way? Be careful 100 times. But when it comes to doing good things, don't be too careful to be too careful. Imagine every guy who thinks about doing something good. Nobody would ever speak about anything, because they're always careful about not to be too careful. He says what? If you want to be a shalem with the good character, היה עוזב את אותן המידות שהוא כן יכול להגיע אליהן עד אשר ישיג את כולן. אז היו כל בני אדם ריקים ממעשים טובים וחזינים ממידות טובות. היו רצים אחרי תקווה של סופה וכזה, והיו שבילי טוב שמומים בדרכי חסדי הנביאים, שלהם בכוח שום אדם פרט לנביאים להגיע לתכלית השלמות. ומכיוון שהבנתי שדבת בני אדם להשיג את תענוגי העולם ואת הנאותיו היא גדולה. He says, since I know people, they love הנאה, ושהם מתרשים לעסוק בדרכי חסד. ומתעצלים לשקול את המצוות. Sometimes they're lazy to do certain mitzvot. Sometimes people are lazy to do certain mitzvot. Or sometimes a person, you're not understanding where it's coming from, You're really lazy, but you say, oh, I'm afraid to do it. You're not afraid to do it. You're lazy to do it. So you say you're afraid to do it. Some people, all their lives, what are they doing? Just chill. They're hanging out. Their whole life, they want to chill and chill and chill and chill and chill. ועומד מולם אחד מתענוגי העולם הזה ומורה אותם לעבוד עליו, הם בודים בעצמם בדברי השקט כדי לנטות על התענוג הזה הוא ותומכים את ראיות השקט כדי להטיל אותם מעצמו. He says people, they'll blind themselves and they'll make a heterim that it's mutar to have a certain item, unless it's not a kosher item, they'll make a oh no, in this situation I can eat it. Why isn't this situation? No, Rabbi, I'm in an island, there's no kosher, I have to eat it, pikuah nefesh. It's not pikuah nefesh. You can have an orange. No, the guy makes a terim. No. I think it says K. Meanwhile, what's a K? What's a K? No, it's K. This, that. I'm saying like okay. Oh no, sorry, but it was a C. It was OC. One guy called me up one time. What's OC? You ever hear on the package is OC? Is OC kosher? It don't matter now. You ever see the OC? You don't see OC?
What does that mean?
It's copyright. So the guy's on an island, he's chilling out. Rabbi, he sends me a picture. Rabbi, is this kosher? It says OC. Go look at any product. Any product has OC. Is it kosher? It says OC. So what? Instead of OU, it says OC. So what's OC? Oh, kosher. But it's C. It's like, kosher is spelled with a K, not a C. But what happened? He gives heterim. What's his heter? His heter in his mind. What's his heter in his mind? Oh, I'm heter. I'm an island. There's the Yetzirah playing with your brains, right? If just a person would open up the light, כדי להעמיד אותם על טעותם, הם בודים לעצמם דברים בטלים, כדי להימנע מהתודה עליו, ומקשים עליו קושיות, וממציאים בחזרות דרכיו, ומסורים את ענייניהם, כדי ליצור בו ניגודים, כדי לפרוש מהנו, וכל אדם אויבו שוכן באמצע לאב. He says every person has that little, like that little thought in their mind. Oh yeah, mutar. Oh, it's mutar. הוא יצר הרע שבקרב האדם. It's just the יצר הרע in the human being. This is mutar. No, it's not mutar. No, but yeah, Rabbi, let's go. שהוא השונא הכי גדול של האדם יותר מכל שונאיו. Who is the greatest שונא? Yossi, who is the greatest enemy that you have? Yetzirah. But the thing is, it's real. Yeah. Should I tell you what happened this morning? This morning, I was in the car, right? So I ordered a car service. So I'm learning Gemara. All of a sudden, I see a message that I don't even know whose number it is. Hi, Rabbi, this, that. I'll be by you in 5 minutes to be praying. Oh, okay, very nice. My name is this. I was like, okay, cute. So I took my time off, those 5, and I was learning. Took my time off, there's that, the Yetzirah just played with me. All of a sudden, oh, sorry. He takes me, I get the shul. I said, where are you? Oh, sorry, wrong rabbi. Like the wrong number rabbi. I was like, yes, he's trying to stop me from learning, That's what it is. He'll always stop you from learning. I'm letting you know that in advance. He'll always stop you from learning Torah. I told you this. He'll always stop you from learning Torah. He wants that so badly that he'll do anything to stop you from learning. From being Tamid Hacham, the guy will give up. I can't do it. It's too much. It's too long. He'll always stop you. Why? Because this is the biggest thing against him. It's like you have the atomic bomb. The Torah is the atomic bomb, and he'll do anything to stop the atomic bomb. It's true. The Shulchan Aruch has from the Magid, and I have it written down. I show it to you. The Magid told him, if you would know how many worlds are losing out when you stop to learn, you'll bocher ma'avid mahayim. That's what he writes. You have to know. All right, let's finish up. Yeah? It says over here, it says, who's the biggest soneh? Right? The biggest soneh is the Yetzirah. No, not him. He's Sadiq. He says, you think you can fight the Yetzirah? Yes, you could with Hashem's help. ומכוח תמידי לנפשו וכוח שליטה להתגבר על יצרו הכושר לנפשו בחבל העבודה ומנסן אותה ברסן צדק מכה אותה בשעות המוסר וכאשר עולה על ליבו לעשות דבר טוב הוא לא נותן לו לדחות אותו לזמן מאוחר יותר ואם ליבו מוודא אותו לנהוג אחרת הוא גואל בו ומקבל אליו. He says, if you have a good thing to do it later. What does Yetzirah say? I'll do it later, I'll do it tomorrow. Do it Gnava! I'll do it tomorrow. It's all good, I'll do it tomorrow. Yetzirah. Why? It's because you say, if I do it tomorrow, so what? Maybe tomorrow you won't do it. So I'll do it tomorrow. No, do it now. The guy's giving charity. Oh, okay, Rabbi, no problem. We're collecting for the poor people, poor families. Okay, fine. Next week. No, if you have it now, do it now. If you can. Understand? Don't try to push. You have the mitzvah, do a mitzvah right away. מצווה באה ידיך אל תחמיצנה. ולכן מצאתי לנכון להכריע את נפשי לסבול את טרחת הריבוי הזה. He says, therefore, I concluded, I have to take this undertaking to do this big job to finish. ובהר את העניין איזה סגיון שהוכר ואיזה מצד שיזדמן לי. ובעד שיובן מעניין מהם בהזכיר את חלקי חובות לבבות שיזדמן לידי. ולא אטרח להביא את כולם כדי שתוכן הספר לא יהיה גדול מדי. אך אזכיר את הדברים הדרושים לכל אחד משרי הספר. בכל אשר שאל את מה שייך לה. ואת אלוקים אחד אמיתי זד. עליו אבטח. He says, I'm hoping to Hashem with my Ezra, with Hashem's help. וממנו אבקש. From Hashem I ask. That Hashem should guide me the right sefer. That it should have all the components, the right components, in order that the sefer should should be accepted and understood by all. Let me, Stephen, pass my phone for a second. You understand what's going on over here? You have to understand. What is he concluding over here? What are we concluding over here? Let's see for a second over here. All right. What are we concluding over here?
We're concluding that he wrote the book in order for him to clarify, help us
see the depth of the mitzvot. And again, this shiur that we just did today, how to serve Hashem, how we said that the mitzvah in a completion form is more completed when you have thoughts behind what you do. Now you're going to go eat breakfast. You don't just eat breakfast. No, you're thinking right now, you know what I'm doing? I'm eating breakfast so I could have energy to serve Hashem, to be healthy to serve Hashem. All these thoughts that you're having in your mind, it goes into the mitzvah itself. So therefore, I would suggest if you can, review the shiur again. We said a lot of concepts. We said a lot of concepts today. And we'll continue. Bezrat Hashem.